Everyone says debt traps you. But here's the irony. Most people don't fall into debt. They walk into it willingly. Because at first, debt feels like freedom. It feels like leveling up. It feels like getting the life you want before you can actually afford it. Buy now, pay later. Upgrade now, worry later. A little happiness today, an interest payment tomorrow. We were taught that freedom means having more choices. But slowly, quietly, those choices turned into monthly payments, and freedom became something you rent instead of own. Debt gives you confidence on day one and control on every day after. Because the moment your lifestyle depends on borrowed money, your freedom belongs to someone else. In this video, we're breaking the illusion, why debt feels empowering before it feels heavy, how it silently rewrites your definition of success, and the exact path to rebuild your freedom without selling your future to the bank. Debt doesn't start as a problem. It starts as convenience, a shortcut, a small decision that feels harmless. Everyone's financing something: phones, couches, vacations, even groceries now, so you tell yourself it's normal. You tell yourself it's fine. You tell yourself you'll catch up later. But here's the truth. Debt doesn't take your freedom all at once. It takes it one payment at a time. First it takes your income, then it takes your options, and eventually it takes your peace. Because once your life depends on monthly payments, your choices are no longer yours, they're rented. Debt sells you the lifestyle you want while quietly taking the future you need, and the scariest part. You don't feel the trap closing because it closes slowly. Not with chains, with comfort, with habits, with "I deserve this." That's why so many people stay stuck. Debt feels normal right up until the moment it isn't. Everyone calls it normal because everyone is drowning the same way. Debt became the default setting. Not a choice, a lifestyle. A quiet monthly drip that steals your future while convincing you it's no big deal. But here's the truth most people never admit. Debt doesn't start with numbers. It starts with habits, small decisions, tiny impulses. 1,000 little, it's only 15 per month, that slowly chain you to a life you didn't choose. You're not overspending, you're being outsmarted. By design, by marketing, by an economy built to keep you paying, not progressing. And once you realize that, you stop blaming yourself and you start taking back control. Freedom doesn't begin when the debt disappears. It begins the moment you stop being blind to it. Clarity is the first form of wealth. List what comes in, list what goes out, not to punish yourself, but to finally see the truth you've been avoiding. Because you can't escape a maze while pretending you're not in one. And here's the shift nobody teaches. Money isn't emotional, but avoiding it is. When you measure your money, you manage your life. You replace panic with direction, stress with structure, fear with control. Clarity turns debt from a monster in the dark into math on a page. And math is beatable. Here's the trap most people never notice. Not every purchase is a reward. Some are just delays wearing a price tag. If it loses value, if it gains dust, if it steals tomorrow to make today feel better, it's not a treat. It's a trade-off. Real rewards don't drain you. They don't lock you into payments. They don't demand interest for temporary happiness. A true reward makes your life easier, not heavier. It supports your goals instead of burying them. And when you stop confusing comfort with progress, your money stops controlling you and starts serving you. Most people want to escape debt instantly, and that's exactly why they never escape it at all. Freedom doesn't start with a miracle. It starts with movement. One small payment, one tiny win, one number that goes down instead of up. Momentum is the antidote to panic. Because when you shrink even the smallest debt, something powerful happens. Your brain stops drowning and starts believing. You don't need a perfect plan. You need progress, the kind that stacks quietly until one day it becomes confidence. Debt fights in piles. Freedom fights in steps. And the first step is enough to change how the whole journey feels. People think freedom is buying whatever you want, But real freedom is wanting less than you earn. It's not the size of your income that decides your peace. It's the size of your gap, the space between what you make and what you spend. That margin is your power, your buffer, your breathing room. Anyone can look rich for a moment, but freedom isn't a moment, it's a margin. And the smaller your wants become, the bigger that margin grows. Until your money stops owning you and finally starts protecting you. Debt can buy comfort, but peace must be earned up front. You can swipe, borrow, and finance your desires, but no credit card prints calm, no loan buys quiet, no subscription delivers certainty. True freedom is a transaction with yourself. You pay attention, you plan, you control, and that payment, it's interest-free. It compounds silently, rewarding patience, discipline, and clarity, because comfort is temporary, but peace lasts. Freedom isn't a purchase. It isn't a subscription. It isn't a number in your bank account. Freedom is clarity, control, and choice. It's the margin between what you earn and what you spend. It's momentum, patience, and discipline. Debt can rent you a life you think you want, but only your decisions can earn you a life you actually control. Start small, measure, pay attention, take one step, then the next. Because every moment you reclaim control, every dollar you direct instead of surrender, is interest-free freedom that compounds faster than any credit card ever could. The price of freedom is earned, not borrowed. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe.